This is Luxora, where luxury isn't just shown, it's revealed. My Amadea. There is a detail about my Amadea that tells you everything about the vessel before you step inside her. At the bow, welded permanently to the hull, is a 5-ton albatross sculpted from stainless steel by Dutch artist Willem Lensink. It was commissioned specifically for this yacht. It weighs more than a family car. It will never be removed. The albatross, a bird that spends most of its life over open ocean, that can fly for years without touching land, that navigates by instinct across distances that defeat every other creature, was chosen by the owner as the symbol of this vessel. And then the vessel was seized in Fiji, and the albatross has been sitting still ever since. My Amadea was built by Lürssen, the German shipyard, whose name has appeared throughout Luxora's catalog. The builders of Azam, Flying Fox, Deep Blue, Dilbar, Nord. Lürssen does not build ordinary yachts. It builds at its most ambitious statements. An Amadea, launched in 2017 after years of meticulous construction, is a statement of a very particular kind. At 106 meters in length, with 4,402 gross tons of internal volume, she sits in the upper tier of private yachts by volume, a vessel whose interior generosity exceeds what her length alone suggests. 6 decks, a steel hull, an aluminium superstructure shaped by Espen Øino, the Norwegian architect responsible for Azam's exterior and Flying Fox's organic curves, who gave Amadea a profile defined by curving side overhangs he described as clamshells. From a distance, those clamshells create an impression of movement, of a hull that breathes rather than sits. The interior was designed by François Zuretti, a French designer whose brief from the owner contained 2 words that shaped every decision that followed. Authentic, classic. Not vintage, not period-inspired. There is a warmth to Amadea's interior that photographs almost fail to capture, because warmth is not a quality of objects but of their arrangement. And Zuretti arranged everything with the instinct of someone who understood that the best interiors feel discovered rather than installed. The Grand Salon centers on a Pleyel grand piano, the Directoire baby grand that was the favorite instrument of Chopin and Ravel, whose soundboard and ribs are built from solid spruce harvested from Italy's Fiemme Valley, and whose pedals, hinges, and hardware are finished in 24-karat gold. In a room that also contains leather-bound walls, a marble fireplace, and a ceiling above the formal dining table painted with Michelangelo's clouds, a direct reference to the Sistine chapel, applied here with the specific intention of making guests eating dinner feel as though they are seated beneath the sky of a Renaissance fresco. Moving through the vessel, the quality of the material selections becomes something you stop noticing consciously and start simply absorbing. Onyx, burled woods, bronze molding with a 24-karat gold finish. Inlay work so fine it reads from a distance as printed rather than assembled. In the owner's private office, on the owner's deck, the ceiling carries a hand-painted world map, a detail that is not decorative but philosophical, a reminder that the room belongs to a man who thinks in terms of geographies and distances and the spaces between them. The owner's bathroom contains an ornate bath recessed slightly into the floor. The owner's deck also holds a private salon, a gym, a beauty salon, a dressing room, and an aft terrace with a mosaic-lined spa pool beneath a fiber-optic night sky. When the lights are cut and the fiber optics are activated, The ceiling of that terrace becomes a constellation map. Guests lying in that pool on a clear night at anchor somewhere in the Mediterranean or the Pacific or wherever the vessel happens to be, look up at manufactured stars above them and real stars above those. The sun deck is where Amadea most completely reveals the duality at the heart of her design. By day, it is a winter garden, an alpine conservatory transposed onto the highest deck of a superyacht, planted with ferns, painted with lianas, housing a lobster tank, a dedicated galley with copper pots, and a teppanyaki grill, a rotisserie, and a hog roaster. The galley is not a service space hidden from guests. It is a guest space. The design philosophy here is that food on Amadea is participatory, that the people aboard should be able to engage with what they eat, to watch it prepared, to contribute if they choose. There is even a crane that lowers the cooking equipment over the side so that a beach party can be fully catered from the vessel without anyone setting foot in a conventional kitchen. By night, the sun deck transforms. The winter garden becomes a nightclub. The pool and its surrounding sunbeds fold and shift to create a stage equipped with 20,000 watts of built-in speakers, stage lights, and lasers. DJs and live bands connect directly into Amadea's AV system. The captain, describing this system to journalists before the seizure, said that at half volume, you could feel your chest pounding. 20,000 watts on a yacht. This is the detail that separates Amadea from every other vessel in her class. The fact that her party infrastructure is not a sound system in a bar, but a concert venue on a deck. In September 2025, Amadea was sold at sealed bid auction administered by National Maritime Services in collaboration with Fraser Yachts. The buyer was Abbas Hussein Sajwani, the name that appears in public records as the new owner, the person who looked at a $325 million vessel with a complicated history and a 3-year stay in a California port and saw in her what her original owner saw, something worth having. The sale price has not been officially disclosed. The vessel has, since the sale, presumably begun the process of returning to active use. The piano replayed, the sun deck nightclub reopened, the winter garden once again full of guests above the Pacific or the Mediterranean or wherever Abbas Hussein Sajwani chooses to take her. She is 106 meters. She is 6 decks. She is a winter garden, a nightclub, a museum, a cinema with a popcorn machine, a concert venue at sea. She carries an albatross at her bow and a Sistine chapel on her dining room ceiling. She was named, someone somewhere decided, for something melodic and beautiful. Amadea, the word that means loved by God. There is a question that my Amadea leaves you with that has nothing to do with oligarchs or sanctions or legal proceedings or the price of fuel in a California port. It is a simpler and more personal question. When you look at everything that went into this vessel, the 18 months for a piano, the 5-ton Albatross, the authentic 18th-century furniture, the Sistine ceiling above the dining table, and then you look at what happened to it, the question becomes, does a great object retain its meaning when its story changes around it? Is Amadea still what she was built to be? Or did the voyage to Fiji change her into something else? What do you think? If you had been aboard Amadea before all of this, before Fiji, before San Diego, before the auction, would you have known, in some way, that this vessel carried too much beauty for the world it existed in? Drop your answer below. This is a conversation worth having. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more amazing content.